Channeled message.
You were not just some random attachment in their life. You were not a side story. You were not a temporary indulgence. You were not an entanglement. You were the assignment. When a person prays for love, prays for help, prays for a way out, prays for something real, and God sends them a living opportunity to choose differently, that moment becomes a test. A door opens, a portal opens, a new timeline becomes available. That is the mercy. They get a chance to choose honesty over deception, discipline over appetite, a chance to choose integrity over ego, healing over sabotage, a chance to stop repeating the very patterns that have been ruining their life. Yeah, that was the assignment, and they failed it. Free will was in their hands. Truth stood in front of them. A different path stood in front of them. A different future, a different version of themselves stood in front of them. Still, they chose what was familiar. They chose deception, secrecy, indulgence, manipulation. They chose performance. They chose the old hunger. They chose the same low roads dressed up as freedom. That is karma too. Karma is not only what happens after the betrayal. Karma is also the choice itself. The moment they stood at the threshold of transformation and still chose the same darkness, they revealed the lesson they refused to learn. That is why you never were the entanglement. You were the karmic crossroads. You were the living evidence that another timeline was available. Proof that love did not have to look like chaos. That honesty was possible. That peace was possible. Proof that real partnership did not require lies, games, double lives, secret appetites, or spiritual rot. Your presence confronted them with a higher path. And instead of rising to meet it, they reached for what matched their current character. That was the real failure. Not just losing you, not just hurting you, lying on you, and trying to reduce you. They failed the assignment attached to you. They were given a chance to choose better and choose something unfamiliar, but they chose familiar poison. They were given a chance to walk through a new portal, and they ran back into an old pattern. A chance to break a cycle and decided to feed it. They were given a chance to honor what was sent to them, but they chose to manipulate it and mishandle it. That carries consequences. A person does not betray something sent by God and walk away unchanged. A person does not fumble a divine opportunity and remain untouched. A person does not choose deception at a spiritual crossroads and call that a harmless mistake. That choice becomes part of the lesson. That choice becomes part of the judgment. It becomes a part of the timeline they now have to live inside. You were not to be played with. You were there. You were not there to be used. You were not there to be mislabeled as some messy chapter in their life. You were there as an opening to grow, to heal, an opening to the truth, an opening to become something different, someone different, an opening to stop living like appetite was destiny. And they chose against it. That is why this hits deeper than any other ordinary betrayal. This was not just a romantic failure. This was a spiritual failure. They had free will. They had warning. They had opportunity. They had grace. They had access to a different future. Still, they chose deception. So no, you were never an entanglement. You were a spiritual lesson and they failed. You were the karma. You were the mirror. You were the test. You were the doorway. You were the fork in the road. You were the assignment that could have changed their life. They looked at the truth and chose the lie anyway. Now they have to live with the version of the life that choice created. That is the karma. That is the lesson. That is the cost.
End of message.